Chosen One, if you are watching this video at this exact moment, know that it is not by chance. God has directed you here because the time for your breakthrough has arrived. What I'm about to share will completely change your life. At this moment, a supernatural wave of restoration is being released upon you, and everything, absolutely everything that was lost is returning with double honor. God heard your desperate prayers in the early hours of the morning. He saw your silent tears when no one was looking, and now, at this exact moment, He is moving heaven and earth to restore everything that the enemy stole from you. It's not a coincidence that you're here now, it's an appointment with your destiny. Scarcity has come to an end. The time of humiliation is over. A transformation is happening right now in every area of your life, in your finances, your relationships, your health, your career. You will witness the impossible becoming reality before your eyes. Before continuing, I need you to do 3 simple things. Click the subscribe button to help us reach more people like you. Leave a like so this video reaches other chosen ones, and comment restoration to declare that you are receiving this powerful message. Now let's dive into this divine revelation that will transform your life forever. Chosen One, open your heart to this transformative truth. Everything, absolutely everything that was taken from you is now returning with divine interest. This is not just any moment in your life. This is the decisive moment, the exact instant when God has decreed your complete restoration. Doors that were unjustly closed are being thrown wide open. Dreams that seemed dead are being resurrected with full force. Opportunities that slipped through your fingers are returning multiplied. You are entering a season of supernatural restitution that will leave you amazed at God's power. At this exact moment, as you hear these words, chains are being broken over your life. Scarcity is no longer part of your story. Lack no longer has permission to remain in your home. What the enemy stole, God is commanding to be returned, not just what was lost, but with additions that will surprise even the most skeptical around you. Visualize with me that job you lost unjustly. God is bringing a better position with a doubled salary. That relationship that fell apart and left you devastated, God is preparing a much deeper and truer connection. That health that was compromised, the Lord is restoring every cell in your body with renewed vitality and supernatural strength. This is not an empty promise or a distant hope. It is a divine decree that is already in motion in the heavenly realms. Abundance is manifesting in every area of your life right now. You will look back in a short time and barely recognize your life before. Such will be the transformation. For years, you have been sowing in tears. Your dedication, your faith in difficult times, your persistence when everything seemed lost. Now is the time for harvest, and what an abundant harvest. What you planted in soil of adversity is germinating in terrain of prosperity. The seeds watered with your tears are producing sweet fruits of unexpected blessings. God is saying to you today, beloved son, precious daughter, the time for your restitution with interest has come. The Lord of hosts is mobilizing heavenly resources to ensure that you receive everything back multiplied. This is not a common blessing. It is an extraordinary restitution that will leave you overflowing with gratitude. Many around you doubted this was possible. Some even laughed at your faith and hope. But now they will witness God's restorative power in your life. The impossible is becoming possible. The irreversible is being reversed. What seemed lost forever is returning renewed and improved. God is opening the heavenly storehouses and pouring out upon you immeasurable blessings. You will not have enough space to receive everything that is coming your way. Divine restitution knows no limits, accepts no barriers, is not intimidated by human impossibilities. When God decrees restitution, nothing and no one can prevent it. As you prepare to receive this wave of restitution, allow yourself to believe again. Let faith arise strong in your heart. What was stolen is being located at this exact moment in the spiritual realms. What was lost is being recovered by angels sent on your behalf. What was destroyed is being rebuilt by divine hands. The shame of loss is being replaced by the glory of restitution. The years that the locusts devoured are being restored in a single moment. It's as if the divine clock were accelerating to compensate for all lost time in your life. God is not only giving back, but is adding divine interest that will leave you amazed. You will witness financial miracles that defy economic logic. Material blessings will arrive from unexpected sources. Debts that seemed eternal will be paid off in surprising ways. Resources you never imagined will be available to you. This is the restitution with interest that God has prepared exclusively for you. Your mind may doubt, but your spirit recognizes the truth. The time of restitution has arrived. Divine interest is not calculated as humans calculate. When God adds interest to your restitution, He does so in an extraordinary way, surpassing any mortal expectation. Prepare to receive not just what was lost, but much more. Receive this word with unwavering faith. Your restitution with interest has already been decreed in the spiritual realm and is manifesting in the physical world right now. Everything, every dream, every relationship, every opportunity, every resource, everything that was taken from you is coming back multiplied. This is the hour of your financial, emotional, and spiritual breakthrough. Listen carefully to this transformative revelation. The enemy will not only return what he stole from you, but will pay a high price for every moment of suffering he caused in your life. The time has come for divine justice to be manifested in your favor. For too long, you watched helplessly as the adversary of your soul seemed to triumph, stealing your dreams, your peace, your health, your finances, your relationships. You cried in silence, questioning where God was amid your pain. But the Lord was not absent. He was preparing a restitution so powerful it will leave you amazed. At this moment, as these words reach your ears, a powerful wave of spiritual justice is being released over your life. The enemy who thought he could steal with impunity is being called to account in the heavenly court. The verdict has already been given, guilty, and the sentence is clear, complete restitution with interest. Visualize with me, every tear you shed was collected by God. Every sleepless night caused by worry was recorded. Every moment of anguish when you didn't know how you would pay the bills was accounted for. And now the Lord is demanding that the enemy pay for all of this. And the payment will be poured directly into your life as extraordinary blessings. The strategies that were set against you will now turn against your oppressors. Those who dug a pit for you will fall into it. Those who tried to block your path will see you advance with irresistible force. The enemy will watch helplessly as you are elevated to heights you never imagined reaching. This is not just a promise of comfort. It is a divine decree of justice that is already being executed. The thefts perpetrated against your life, your family, your career, your health, and your finances are being reversed with such intensity that you will barely be able to keep up with the speed of the transformations that will occur in the coming weeks. The enemy thought your losses were permanent, that your suffering would be eternal, that your defeat was sealed. But the enemy did not count on the God of impossible turnarounds acting in your favor. The same God who opened the Red Sea, who brought down the walls of Jericho, who delivered Daniel from the lion's den, is working now to ensure that you receive complete restitution. You are witnessing the beginning of a supernatural transfer of wealth. Resources that were blocked are being released. Doors that were locked are being opened. Opportunities that were denied are being offered again, and now under much better conditions than before. The enemy is being forced to pay for the theft with divine interest that exceeds any human calculation. The public humiliation you faced is being transformed into visible honor for all to see. The contempt with which you were treated is giving way to recognition of your worth. The people who doubted you, who mocked your faith, who belittled your potential, will be the same ones who witness your supernatural ascension. Soon, you will receive news. that will confirm this prophetic word. Seemingly impossible situations will begin to resolve with surprising ease. Unexpected resources will emerge precisely when you need them. People you never imagined will come to you to bless and support you. Each of these signs will confirm that the enemy is being forced to pay for what he stole. God is rewriting your story at this exact moment. Where there were chapters of defeat, now there will be narratives of glorious victory. Where there were paragraphs of scarcity, now pages of overflowing abundance will be written. Where there were phrases of rejection, now declarations of acceptance and love will be composed. The enemy will be forced to watch as your life is completely transformed. This is not just a restoration of what was lost, it is an elevation to a level you have never known before. The enemy will not only return what he stole, but will be forced to pay for every moment of anguish, every tear shed, every dream postponed. Divine justice is perfect and is being executed in your favor right now. Receive this word with unwavering faith. The time of theft is over. The era of your restoration has begun. The enemy is being forced to return everything, absolutely everything, that he took from you, and with heavenly interest that will transform your losses into extraordinary gains. This is your hour. This is your moment. Supernatural restitution is underway. Chosen one, lift your head and listen to this transformative revelation. The time of shame is over. The season of humiliation you have gone through is being completely replaced by an era of divine recognition and public honor that will leave you amazed. For too long, you have walked with your head down, carrying the weight of rejection, failure, shame. Situations beyond your control stained your reputation. Cruel words were spoken about you. Doors were slammed in your face. Opportunities were unjustly denied. You asked countless times, "How long, Lord?" The divine answer echoes today with absolute clarity. Until now, until this exact moment. The heavenly decree has been signed and sealed. Your shame is being transformed into recognition. What was once a cause for humiliation will now be a reason for celebration. The same places where you were rejected will become the stages of your exaltation. As these words penetrate your spirit, invisible chains of shame are being broken. The heavy burden of rejection is being removed from your shoulders. The dense clouds of disapproval that hung over your head are dissipating, giving way to a radiant glow of divine favor that everyone around you will be able to perceive. Visualize with me. People who ignored your value will now be compelled to recognize your gifts. Those who belittled your ideas will now anxiously seek your wisdom. Those who laughed at your dreams will be the first to applaud your achievements. This is not just a subtle change, it is a radical transformation in how the world sees you. God is altering the spiritual frequency you emit. Where before there was an aura of defeat, now shines a mantle of victory. Where there was a shadow of failure, now shines a light of success. Where an energy of lack was perceived, now a presence of abundance manifests. People will feel this change when you enter an environment. Your name, which may have been associated with disappointments or failures, is being rewritten in the agendas of the influential. Your presence, which may have been ignored, will now be requested. Your advice, previously discarded, will be urgently sought. This is the supernatural transformation that God is working in your social and professional life at this exact moment. The recognition that is coming is not the result of your desperate effort to impress others. It is the result of divine intervention that is realigning people's perception of you. It is God changing the way the world sees you. It is the Lord elevating your spiritual and social status through an irrevocable heavenly decree. Soon, you will receive surprising invitations. Influential people will seek your company. Doors of opportunity that seemed sealed forever will open spontaneously. Your phone will ring with proposals you never dreamed of receiving. Each of these signs will confirm that the era of shame has ended and the time of recognition has arrived. The situations that once made you feel diminished will now be platforms for your elevation. The environments where you felt out of place will now be the places where you will stand out. The contexts where your voice was ignored will now be the spaces where your words will have weight and authority. This is divine reversal in action in your life. Shame tries to convince you that your worth is permanently compromised. But God is declaring today that your worth was never based on human opinions or passing circumstances. Your worth is anchored in the eternal truth of who you are as a beloved child of the King of Kings. And that truth is now manifesting in a visible way for all to see. The cycle of self-deprecation is being broken at this moment. The internal voices that accused you are being silenced. The tendency to diminish yourself before others is being replaced by a serene confidence that comes from recognizing your true worth. This is not arrogance. It is the quiet security of someone who knows they have been chosen and honored by God. Your time in the valley of shame served a divine purpose. There your humility was forged. There your compassion for others was developed. There your dependence on God was deepened. But the time in the valley is over. You are being led to the heights of recognition, where you will use the lessons learned to impact lives with wisdom and love. Receive this word with all your heart. The era of your shame has definitively ended. The time of your recognition is just beginning. The same places, people, and situations that were the stage of your humiliation will be scenarios of your exaltation. This is not just a promise for the future. It is a reality that is already unfolding at this exact moment in your life. Listen with complete attention to this transformative revelation. The time of your public honor has arrived. God is orchestrating situations at this exact moment for you to be elevated before those who doubted your worth. Your exaltation will not be in a hidden corner, but on the most visible stages of your life. For a long time you were ignored, underestimated, set aside. Your talents were minimized, your contributions were forgotten, your presence was treated as irrelevant. You watched as others less qualified were promoted, celebrated, and honored. This painful reality is about to be completely reversed. At this moment, as these words reach your spirit, the divine gears are moving to position you in places of prominence. The God who elevated Joseph from the depths of prison to the position of Prime Minister is working to promote you in an equally dramatic and visible way. Visualize with me important meetings where your opinion will be not only requested, but valued above others. Public events where you will be invited to occupy places of honor. Special occasions where your name will be mentioned with reverence and gratitude. This is not a distant fantasy. It is your new reality that is already taking shape. The public honor that God is preparing for you is not the fruit of manipulation or self-promotion. It is the result of divine intervention that is changing people's perception of you. It's as if a veil were being removed from the eyes of those around you, allowing them to see the extraordinary value that was always there. Soon, you will receive recognition from unexpected sources. People who previously criticized your work will now praise it publicly. Leaders who ignored your suggestions will now implement your ideas with enthusiasm. Institutions that closed their doors will now invite you to positions of prominence. Each of these situations will be a clear sign that your season of public honor has arrived. The places where you experienced rejection will transform into scenarios of your celebration. The environments where you were diminished will be the same ones where your greatness will be proclaimed. The communities that doubted your potential will be the first to applaud your achievements. This is not just a subtle change, it is a complete and visible reversal for all to see. God is orchestrating divine encounters that will result in supernatural promotions for you. Influential people will cross your path precisely at the right moment. Opportunities will arise at strategic moments. Doors will open in perfect sequence to lead you to positions of greater visibility and influence. None of this is coincidence. It is the divine plan in action. The public honor that is coming will transcend the limits of what you have already experienced. It will not just be a passing moment of recognition, but a permanent elevation of your social, professional, and spiritual status. People around you will notice that something has fundamentally changed in the way you are treated and respected. In every area of your life, family, work, community, ministry, you will experience a new dimension of honor. People who barely noticed your presence before will now actively seek your company. Those who ignored your contributions will now highlight them with admiration. Those who minimized your gifts will now celebrate them publicly. This public honor will serve a greater purpose than simply elevating your ego. God is strategically positioning you so that your influence can reach more people. The respect you will receive will open doors for your wisdom, your gifts, and your testimony to impact lives in ways that would be impossible without this platform of honor. You will not need to fight for recognition or beg for attention. Honor will come to you effortlessly as a result of the divine decree that has already been issued in the heavenly realms. You will simply walk in your authenticity, remain faithful to your values, and honor will find you naturally, without you having to desperately chase it. Important people will notice you. Influential leaders will seek your wisdom. Doors that seemed permanently closed will open without you having to force them. Invitations will arrive for places you never imagined you could access. This is the tangible manifestation of the public honor that God is releasing upon your life. Receive this word with unwavering faith. Your season of obscurity has ended. Your time backstage has come to an end. The era of your public honor is just beginning. You will be elevated in such a visible way that no one will be able to deny that it was God's hand that exalted you. This is not a distant future. It is a reality that is already unfolding at this exact moment. Chosen one, prepare yourself for a revelation that will completely transform your perspective. The restoration that God is bringing to your life will not be slow, gradual, or discreet. It will be as swift as lightning, as visible as the midday sun, and as supernatural as the parting of the Red Sea. For a long time, you believed that recovery processes needed to be slow and painful. You resigned yourself to the idea that it would take years, perhaps decades, to rebuild what was destroyed. You accepted the lie that restoration would be an almost imperceptible process. Today, these limited conceptions are being completely shattered. At this exact moment, as these words penetrate your spirit, a divine acceleration is being released upon your life. The God who can do more in 1 second than men can accomplish in 1,000 years is compressing time and space to manifest your restoration with extraordinary speed. Visualize with me situations you expected to take years to resolve being solved in days or weeks. Debts that seemed eternal being paid off in record time. Relationships that seemed irreparably broken being restored in unexpected divine encounters. Opportunities you thought were lost forever returning in full force. This is not a vague hope, it is your new reality. The speed of this restoration will leave you breathless. It will be like watching a movie in fast forward. Events that would normally take months will happen in days. Processes that would typically require years will be completed in weeks. This divine acceleration does not follow the natural laws of time. It is governed by the supernatural decree that has been issued in the heavenly court. This restoration will not occur behind the scenes or in the shadows. It will be as visible as a billboard on a busy highway. Everyone around you, family, friends, colleagues, even those who doubted you, will witness the extraordinary transformation happening in your life. There will be no denying that a supernatural intervention is occurring. Soon, you will receive unmistakable signs of this accelerated restoration. Doors that were closed will suddenly open. People who disappeared from your life will return with surprising proposals. Resources that seemed inaccessible will emerge from unexpected sources. Each of these signs will confirm that the swift, visible, and supernatural restoration is in full swing. This restoration will transcend any logical or natural explanation. It will not be the result of happy coincidences or chance. It will be so evidently supernatural that even skeptics will be forced to recognize that only God could orchestrate such a transformation. The mark of divine intervention will be stamped on every aspect of your restoration. Obstacles that seemed insurmountable will be removed with surprising ease. Mountains that blocked your path will be leveled in an instant. Seas that prevented your advance will part before you. This is not symbolic language. It is the literal description of how supernatural restoration will work in your life. You will see miracles happening in such rapid sequence that you will barely have time to process one before the next occurs. It will be like watching a parade of divine interventions, each more impressive than the previous one. This avalanche of blessings is the manifestation of the accelerated restoration that God has decreed over your life. Swift restoration does not mean superficial. It will be deep, touching every damaged area of your life: emotional, spiritual, physical, financial, relational. There will not be a single aspect of your existence that is not reached by this powerful movement of divine restoration. In record time, you will witness the complete reconstruction of what was destroyed. The signs of this restoration will be so visible that they will become a testimony to others. People will look at you and say, "How is this possible? How did everything change so quickly?" And you will have the opportunity to share that it was God who worked this extraordinary transformation. Your restoration will become a beacon of hope for many. The supernatural element of this restoration means that it does not depend on favorable circumstances, available resources, or statistical probabilities. It operates in a dimension where human limitations do not apply. That is why you will see impossible doors opening, unimaginable solutions emerging, and unexpected transformations happening. Receive this word with expanded faith. Your restoration will not follow human timelines or conventional processes. It will be as swift as divine thought, as visible as a miracle in a public square, and as supernatural as the resurrection of the dead. Prepare to be amazed by the speed, visibility, and supernatural nature of the restoration that has already begun in your life. Open your heart to this transformative revelation. The deep wounds you carry, those pains that seemed eternal, those emotional scars you learned to hide, are being healed at this exact moment through supernatural miracles that transcend any human therapy or medicine. For years, perhaps decades, you have lived with these wounds, betrayals that tore your heart apart, rejections that crushed your self-esteem, losses that left permanent voids, failures that continue to haunt you on lonely nights. You learned to live with this pain, believing that some wounds are simply incurable. But hear this liberating truth. God is performing spiritual surgery on your soul at this exact moment. As these words penetrate your spirit, divine hands are touching precisely the points of greatest pain. A celestial light is illuminating the darkest corners of your being. A miraculous healing is happening in the depths of your interior. Visualize with me that painful memory that always caused a tightness in your chest is being enveloped by divine peace. That broken relationship that left an open wound is being given new meaning with supernatural understanding. That rejection that negatively defined your self-image is being completely transformed by a revelation of your true value in God. The traumas that shaped your behavior patterns are being healed at the root. The fears that limited your movements are being dissolved by supernatural courage. The insecurities that prevented you from embracing opportunities are being replaced by an unshakable confidence that comes from heaven. This is not a superficial change. It is a profound transformation that reaches the foundations of your being. Soon, you will notice unmistakable signs of this miraculous healing. Situations that previously triggered intense emotional reactions will now seem neutral. People who used to intimidate you will no longer have that power over you. Memories that once paralyzed you with pain will be seen through a new perspective. Each of these signs will confirm that a miracle of inner healing is happening. The healing that God is working will leave no scars. Unlike human interventions, which always leave residual marks, divine healing is so complete that no evidence of the original wound remains. It's as if the wound never existed. This is the miraculous power that is acting in your emotional and spiritual life at this exact moment. The wounds you believed were your identity, the rejected one, the failure, the abandoned one, the betrayed one, are being disconnected from your essence. God is revealing that these painful experiences never defined who you really are. They were just temporary situations that the enemy used to distort your self-perception. Miraculous healing is restoring your true identity. The healing process that would normally take years of therapy is being supernaturally accelerated. What therapists and counselors could not resolve in decades is being healed in an instant by the divine touch. This is not a devaluation of professional help, but a recognition that there are dimensions of healing that can only be reached by direct divine intervention. The roots of bitterness that deepened in your heart are being completely uprooted. The poison of resentment that contaminated your relationships is being neutralized by a celestial antidote. The tendency to relive the traumas of the past is being replaced by a supernatural ability to live fully in the present. This transformation is not gradual, it is instantaneous and miraculous. You will begin to dream again without the weight of the past limiting your horizons. Your ability to trust will be restored without the shadows of betrayal obscuring your connections. Your willingness to take risks will resurface without the fear of failure controlling your decisions. This is the emotional and spiritual freedom that comes from the miraculous healing of deep wounds. The negative thought patterns that became so familiar are being reprogrammed by divine truths. The limiting beliefs that were installed by painful experiences are being replaced by expansive perspectives inspired by heaven. The distorted filters through which you viewed reality are being exchanged for lenses of spiritual clarity. This renewal of the mind is an integral part of miraculous healing. Soon, you will find yourself reacting in completely different ways to old triggers. Where there was once panic, there will now be peace. Where anger existed, understanding will now emerge. Where fear dominated, courage will now flourish. These new responses will not be the fruit of learned techniques, but spontaneous manifestations of the miraculous healing that is occurring within you. The emotional wounds that affected your physical body are also being healed. The psychosomatic symptoms, headaches, digestive problems, muscle tension, insomnia that were physical manifestations of your emotional wounds are disappearing. You will experience a new physical vitality that is a direct result of the inner healing that is happening. The people around you will notice the transformation even before you consciously perceive it. They will comment on the new light in your eyes, the new lightness in your step, the new serenity in your countenance. These observations will be external confirmations of the miraculous healing that is occurring internally. Your own body and behavior will witness the miracle. This healing is not just for your personal benefit. Once healed, you will become an instrument of healing for others. Your words will carry restorative power. Your presence will transmit peace. Your testimony will inspire hope. The same wounds that once debilitated you, now healed, will become the foundation of your ability to help others who suffer similar pains. The miraculous healing that is happening now is just the beginning. God is establishing in you a new condition of emotional and spiritual health that will be permanent. It will not be a temporary improvement followed by relapses, but a fundamental and lasting transformation. It's like receiving a new heart, a new mind, a new spirit, free from the scars and limitations of the past. Receive this word with absolute faith. The wounds that seem to be a permanent part of your journey are being healed by supernatural miracles at this exact moment. It is not a gradual process, not an incremental improvement. It is an instantaneous divine intervention that is completely restoring your inner being. The miracle has already begun. The healing is underway. Your deepest wounds are being transformed into testimonies of supernatural restoration. Chosen one, we have reached the end of this powerful revelation, but we are just at the beginning of your journey of restoration with double honor. Everything that has been shared with you is not just words of hope. They are divine decrees that are already in motion in your life. The restitution with interest is happening. The enemy is being forced to pay for what he stole. Your shame is being transformed into recognition. Public honor is arriving. The swift, visible, and supernatural restoration is underway, and your wounds are being healed by extraordinary miracles. You are no longer the person you were when you began watching this video. A profound transformation has been initiated in your spirit. Chains have been broken, doors have been opened, divine decrees have been released. And now, you walk in a new dimension of faith, expectation, and spiritual authority. In the coming days, weeks, and months, you will witness the tangible manifestation of everything that has been declared. Each prophetic word will become visible reality in your life. Blessings will come in waves, one after another, confirming that your restoration with double honor is not just a future promise, but a present reality. Before we say goodbye, I ask that you don't leave this place without taking two important actions. Click the subscribe button to continue receiving divine revelations that will transform your life, and leave your like on this video so that other chosen ones can be reached by this powerful message. Remember, you were chosen for this time. You were prepared for this season. You were positioned for this restoration with double honor. What God has begun, He will complete. What has been decreed will be manifested. Your life will never be the same.